again, researchers. This is me again, Mom Team May, and welcome to our research vlog. Nandito tayo muli at katulad ng ipinangako ko sa inyo na andito ang second episode of our vlog in Research 1. And before we proceed with our first lesson, let us first define research. Ano ba ang research? And since lalo na sa mga grade 7 students na merong elective subject na research, medyo nautal tayo doon, sa research, so pag-usapan natin, what is research? Do you have any idea what research is? Let us define research first. What is research? Research is a systematic investigation process that involves data collection, critical information, documentation, and analysis and interpretation of that data information in accordance with appropriate methodologies set by specific professional fields and academic disciplines. Okay, next. The first topic that we will discuss is all about scientific attitude. Okay, do you have any idea what is scientific attitude? Can you give an example of scientific attitude? Okay, before we proceed with our discussion, let us first define scientific attitude. The acquisition of scientific attitude is one of the most important outcomes of science. A scientific attitude is an attitude which will tend to foster scientific achievement. In this lesson, we're going to discuss about the 7 scientific attitudes. Number 1, we have curiosity. Number 2, we have intellectual honesty. Number 3, we have open-mindedness. Number 4, we have skepticism. 5, we have objectivity. Number 6, we have perseverance. And the last one, we also have this rationality. Okay, alam nyo ba kung anong ibig sabihin ng 7 scientific attitude na ito? Why do you think this is very important, especially when you are conducting research or when you're doing a simple science experiment? What is the importance of this scientific attitude? Okay, we will discuss that in this lesson vlog. So stay tuned at tayo po ay makinig hanggang dulo. At kung hindi nyo pa naintindihan, pwede nyo balikan ang video na to and then we're going to elaborate all of this. So bago ang lahat, again, this is Teacher Team May and I will be your research teacher for this lesson vlog. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and hit the notification bell para updated kayo sa mga i-upload pa nating bagong video about research. Ano daw sinasabi ko? Okay, pagpatuloy natin to. Okay, let us take this as an example. So, may papakita ko sa inyo yung different examples of situations wherein you can identify what scientific attitude is being shown by a certain person. Okay, medyo maingay sa labas. Okay, number 1. Okay, let us have situation 1. While playing by the riverbank, Jamie saw some big crabs crawling on the sand. She wondered where they came from. So he went further down the bank to investigate their source. Okay, sige nga. I will give you 10 seconds to think what scientific attitude is being shown in that situation. Very good. That is curiosity. Okay, let us have situation number 2. Let us have situation 2. Justin is doing an experiment, but after so many trials, his experiment is really not acceptable. Everything he did was a mistake, but he really wanted a high grade. So he covered up the mistake that he did. Instead of telling the truth, he manipulated the data and falsified all the results. Okay, again, bibigyan ko kayo ng 10 segundo para isipin ano kaya ang scientific attitude na supposedly makikita natin sa situation na yon. 10 seconds. Very good. That is intellectual honesty. Okay, now, can you differentiate now what is the difference between curiosity and intellectual honesty? Sige nga. What is the difference between curiosity and intellectual honesty? So listen to this discussion. Let's differentiate the two. Curiosity is an attitude that makes you curious about the various things around you. An individual's curiosity wants to know what it's all about, what it's for, how it's done, how it works, and something else. He or she is looking for the answers to the issues he or she wants to learn. Now, let us define intellectual honesty. Intellectual honesty is an attitude in which one should be truthful, for example, by respecting the information sources. It is an applied problem-solving method characterized by an unbiased and honest attitude. Now, magaling. Next, let us talk about open-mindedness and skepticism. Have you heard these words? Do you have any of the scientific attitude? Do you think you can be a good researcher? Do you think you can be a good scientist? Before I give you situations about open-mindedness and skepticism, okay, what is the difference between skepticism and open-mindedness? Okay, listen to this discussion. Open-mindedness is where a scientist listens to others' thoughts and values them. He accepts criticism and changes his mind if his beliefs contradict reliable evidence, while skepticism is based upon evidence-based logic and standards. You now have your idea about skepticism and open-mindedness. Let's take this as an example. Okay, I will give you a situation again wherein you will identify which situation is showing skepticism and open-mindedness. Okay, listen carefully. Situation 1. Marjorie is an online seller of not-so-known whitening products and vitamins. She posted it online to attract buyers. She posted the products and the caption tells that it is really effective in whitening skin and the vitamins are very effective to achieve a glowing and fair skin. There are two customers that seem interested. Buyer 1 sent her a message that says, "Miss Marjorie, this is my first time to buy those products and I'm really desperate to achieve a glowing and white skin. Let me order 3 boxes of your whitening products and 3 bottles of vitamins." Without further any question, she bought the products. However, the second buyer commented on her post saying this, "I am interested in your product, but can I first saw the result? Can you please send me some pictures of before and after of those customers who tried this? I want to read the reviews. And please send me what are those chemical components of your products as well as those vitamins." Okay, based from this scenario, between the two buyers of Marjorie, who has the attitude of being skeptical and why? Is it the buyer 1 or is it the buyer 2? Okay, I will give you 10 seconds. No, let's make it 5. 5 seconds only. Okay, very good. Buyer 2 has the attitude of being skeptical. Why? Do you have any idea? Okay, because generally, this buyer 2 has this questioning attitude. She generally has a questioning attitude. One should not be easily convinced. So, dapat you are asking questions regarding that soap. So, dapat magtatanong ka muna. Ano daw kaya ang chemical components of that soap that can whiten your skin and can make your skin glowing? Okay? Hindi kagaya ng buyer 1 na binili niya agad ng maramihan. So, si buyer 2, nagtanong muna siya. Nanghingi siya ng evidence na makakapagpatunay na this soap is really effective. So, as a researcher, you should be skeptical like the buyer 2. Okay, now, let us have situation number 2. Situation 2. The group of Marian is doing an experiment. Before they start performing the experiment, Marian asked her groupmates that it is better if they will discuss first the things they need to do before they can continue so that everything will go smoothly. Marian and Johnny are assigned to be the leaders of the team. One of their groupmates raised her hand to suggest something for the experiment. Johnny accepted it and she listed it on his notes. However, Marian disregarded his opinion and told him that it will just be a waste of time. Johnny listens to and respects the ideas of others. He accepts criticism and changes his mind if reliable evidence contradicts his beliefs, while Marian is the opposite one. What she only accepts is her opinion. Okay, in this situation, who do you think is more open-minded? Is it Johnny or Marian? Okay, in this situation, who do you think is more open-minded? Is it Johnny or is it Marian? Again, what do you mean by open-minded person? Okay, when we say open-minded, you are open to criticism, you are open to suggestions and opinions of others. Hindi mo dinidisregard yung opinion ng iba. So, as a researcher, as a future scientist, you should be open-minded of the ideas of others at hindi mo sila binabaliwala. Okay, so I will give you 5 seconds to think. Who is more open-minded? Is it Johnny or Marian? 5 seconds only. Ding! May tunog. Okay, you are right. Of course, it is Johnny. Kitang-kita naman sa ating scenario that Johnny is accepting the opinions of others. He is accepting the ideas of other groupmates. Now, let us listen with a discussion about the difference between skepticism and open-mindedness. End of this lesson, you're going to take a quiz. So, just a short quiz. Skepticism is where a scientist doubts, questions, and reconsiders conclusions. The skeptical attitude pervades science and is also applied to scientific assertions. Scientists are skeptical of the claims of their colleagues and even of their own findings in the research. That is the point of scientific replication and convergence. Results need to be obtained again and again before they become too much. Briefly, the skeptical attitude refers to the refusal to accept various claims until one has assessed the available evidence in support of those claims. The more stupendous the claim, the greater the evidence needed. However, open-mindedness is the attitude in which an individual does not reject any knowledge that is conflict with his or her idea. His or her mind is free from any prejudice or bias. Here, an individual may accept ideas from another person and consider them to be potentials that can help in any work or in any solution of scientific problems. It is the attitude where a scientist listens to and respects the ideas of others. He accepts criticism and changes his mind if reliable evidence contradicts his beliefs. We're going to proceed with the last 3 scientific attitudes. Okay, so let us have objectivity, perseverance, and rationality. Let us define first these 3 last attitudes. Objectivity is where a scientist is objective unless he allows his feelings and biases to influence his recording of observations, interpretation of data, and formulation of conclusions. It is where judgment based on observable phenomena and influenced by emotions. Objectivity is an attitude of an individual that records data and observations. He or she tends to interpret this data prior to the actual observation and experimentation that was made as well as verifies the observation's consistency. Perseverance is not going to give up. It's persistence and tenacity, the effort needed to do something and keep doing it until the end, even if it is hard. This makes sense because if you do it with all the challenges, you're being careful with yourself. It is a continued effort to do or achieve something despite difficulties, failure, and opposition. Okay, last, rationality. Rationality is the attitude of an individual who believes that things happen with a cause. Rather, he or she does not believe in the superstitious belief that he or she accepts the facts, but only with supported as well as convincing evidence. Okay, naintindihan niyo ba ang pagkakaiba ng tatlo? Ano ang objectivity, what is rationality, and what is perseverance? If that's so, let us try this situation. Science fair is becoming closer and closer. The group of Christine is one of the contestants for Science Investigatory Project. Their research is entitled Ethanol out of Aratilis Muntingia calabura fruit, and they decided to conduct the experiment right away. The supposed to be 5-day fermentation of Aratilis extract was only fermented in just 2 days because they were running out of time and they really need to gather the data. They proceed with the distillation process and all. They have used 3 bottles of denatured alcohol, yet they only produce 20 ml of ethanol. When they tried to light the ethanol to test its flammability, it flamed but in just a matter of seconds. They were disappointed with the end result of what they did. Jen told her groupmates to start over again and follow strictly the procedure. Jen still recorded the data and observations based on the experiment they did. She tends to interpret this data prior to the actual observations and experimentation that was made as well as verifies the observations' consistency. However, Raylene told her groupmates that they did nothing wrong. She said that maybe the reason behind their failure is because of the black cat that she encountered earlier before they started. She believes that the black cat is a bad premonition. Jen laughed at her and told her that the black cat has nothing to do with them, while Christine suggested that in doing research, one must be patient and works hard without complaint. They should have the effort to do something and keep doing it until the end, even if it is hard. At the end, they started again and again, and at the end, they succeeded with their research. Jen has the attitude of being objective, while Christine showed the attitude of being persistent. However, Raylene doesn't show rationality for the reason that she believed that the reason why they failed is because of the bad omen she encountered. Remember that to be a rational, one should not believe in the superstitious belief and one must accept the facts. Okay, if you're a scientist, if you're a researcher, there are times that you will fail. Okay, hindi sa unang try ay nagsasucceed ka agad. So, kailangan mo talagang ipagpatuloy yung ginagawa mo to achieve success at the end of your investigatory project or whatever research you are doing. Hindi pwedeng, ayoko na. Nag-give up na ako. Ayoko na, hirap naman ito. Ayoko nang ituloy. Hirapan lang ako. So, hindi ganun. So, para maging successful tayo, you should be persistent. And of course, you are accepting the challenges. When we say persistent, when we say perseverance, it is a continued effort. Okay, let us now proceed with rationality. Is an individual who believes that things happen with a cause. Okay, lahat ng bagay na ginagawa, there is a scientific explanation for that. So, you do not believe with superstitious belief. Parang may balat ako sa puwet, kaya yata nag-fail yung aming experiment. What's the correlation between your balat and your experimentation? Okay, may dumaang pusang itim, mamalasin yung experiment ko. No, do not believe sa mga ganon. Okay, as a scientist, as a good researcher, you should be rational. Okay, you should believe that everything happens for a reason. Okay, there is a scientific explanation for everything. Kasi nga scientist ka. Hindi ka pwedeng maniniwala lang sa mga sabi-sabi, pamahiin, or what. Kasi that is not related with whatever you are doing. You should be convinced with evidence. So, okay, sige nga, ulitin natin. What are those scientific attitudes that we discussed? Okay, I will give you 10 seconds to recite it on your own. Very good. Again, ulitin natin. We have curiosity, intellectual honesty, open-mindedness, Skepticism, Objectivity, ano pa? Perseverance, and Rationality. Okay, I hope na naintindihan nyo ang ating lesson na ito. For our next lesson vlog, okay, we're going to do a simple science investigation that will apply this scientific attitude. Okay, so sa ngayon, diniscuss lang muna natin what are the meaning of those scientific attitudes. So for the next vlog, we're going to apply all of this scientific attitude in a simple science investigation. So stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell para updated ka sa mga next vlog na ating gagawin. Thank you at sana may natutunan kayo sa vlog na ito. Mas ma-appreciate ko kung mag-comment kayo kahit ano pang comment yan. Kung meron ako medyo nasabing medyo tagilid, so paki-comment na rin so that we can improve this lesson vlog. So ano pa ba ang suggestion nyo na pwedeng makatulong sa ating ginagawang lesson vlog? Kasi during this pandemic, we are doing this kind of vlog. Syempre para sa mga minamahal nating mga estudyante. At syempre, bago ko po malimutan ang lahat, okay, bago matapos ang vlog ko, gusto ko lang po magpasalamat again sa aking less than 10,000 subscribers. Again, road to 10K na po tayo. And of course, nagpapasalamat po ako, shout out po sa aming magaling, mahusay, napakasipag, at napakabait na education Program Supervisor in Science, Ma'am Esel. Hello po, Ma'am Carmela Esel Orogo ng Division of Quezon. Hello, Ma'am. Salamat po. Ayan, si Ma'am ay napakabait, napakagaling, napakasipag, at napaka-dedicated na EPS. Kaya kami ay very blessed and very lucky to have her. Ayan, at syempre shout out din po pala sa aking mga kaibigan at mga kaguruan na meron na rin pong YouTube channel. So, kay Ma'am Feby Parentela. Hello, Ma'am.
Thank you so much for your support. Again, this is Teacher Ting May, and see you on my next vlog.